Adolf? Is that you?
Berchtesgaden, where you could see the American tank. And here I arrived to the place where the Berchtesgadener Hof once stood, the hotel. Which is now the House der Berge. So this, I think this wall is still the same since back in the days. Let's see if I can find a parking spot.
Die braunen Kolonnen der SA, die schwarzen der SS, der SS. Der Führer ruft, gleich sind sie da, von Nord, von Süd, von Ost und West.
Just came from that direction, and the front of the hotel was over here.
The Grand Hotel. It was built in 1898, and 1 year after its construction, 1899, the German Empress Augusta Victoria decided to spend her summer holidays at the new Grand Hotel. She brought with her the young Princess Victoria Louise and 3 of her sons, and having the Empress at the hotel made the hotel very famous. And right after the Kesselring went back to her husband, Wilhelm II, the hotel manager ordered a new hotel inscription that said, Grand Hotel und Kurhaus Augusta Victoria. From that time on, countless personalities stayed at the Grand Hotel. And later, Augusta Victoria would die in 1921. And then Kaiser Wilhelm II, who was the last emperor in Germany, he married the new Kaiserin Hermine, who came to the hotel many times in the following years. And here you see her sitting at the terrace. Today it's not possible to find out exactly who stayed at the Grand Hotel because the old guest book was stolen at the end of World War II. The beautiful location of the hotel was the main attraction for all its guests, and Grand Hotel was recognized as one of the most beautiful hotels all over Bavaria. And here you see the Crystal Room, about 1910. The Crystal Room again. And then came the Führer and the Nazis. In the spring of 1939, the Nazi Party bought the Grand Hotel, together with the Deutscher Hof Nürnberg, and a hotel corporation was founded to accommodate high party officials and diplomats only. And in only 1 year, the Grand Hotel was completely restored inside and reopened as the Berchtesgadener Hof. And in 1941, Hitler came for the grand reopening. And the manager of the hotel would be Gotthard Färber. He was the one who helped Martin Bormann to get rid of the local residents at the Obersalzberg, to get the houses around Berghof and to demolish them. And here in the main room of the hotel, the Crystal Room, here you see Bormann, Färber, Adolf, and Wunche, and Schwarz. And here's one of the suites that was reserved for special visitors, like Admiral Raeder, Ribbentrop, Jodl, and Goebbels. And here they stand at the Crystal Room, at the exit to the Grand Terrace. And now Adolf leaves the Berchtesgadener Hof. In September of 1936, David Lloyd George, the former British Prime Minister, the leader of the Liberal Party of Great Britain, came to meet with Hitler at the Berghof, and he stayed at the Grand Hotel. And at that time, he was very impressed by Hitler. He didn't see anything bad about him at all. In September 15th, 1938, Neville Chamberlain, the British Prime Minister, arrived at the Grand Hotel. And he stayed there when he came to meet Hitler at the Berghof.
As the car comes up the long drive, Hitler is on the steps to meet his guest. And the moment has come when the Prime Minister of Britain and the Chancellor of Germany clasp each other's hand.
Albert Bormann, he was the head of Hitler's private chancellery. Heinrich Himmler, the Reichsführer SS. Before 1934, Eva Braun stayed frequently in the hotel before she got her own room at the Berghof. And General Field Marshal Keitel, Joachim von Ribbentrop, Foreign Minister, and General Hermann Fegelein, the husband of Eva Braun's sister, Gretel, and General Erwin Rommel, and Dr. Joseph Goebbels, the Reich Propaganda Minister, and Franz Xaver Schwarz, the Reich Treasurer, who handled the economy. And then there was Admiral Raeder and General Jodl and Emil Jannings, a famous German actor. And here is the Hof right after the Americans occupied it. In May of 1945, after the Obersalzberg was bombed, the 101st Airborne Division moved into Berchtesgaden. And here you see some men from the 101st with the company leader Winters. This company is famous for its role in the battles like D-Day and the Battle of Bulge, and also because it was featured in the HBO miniseries called The Band of Brothers. Now look at this table with the wine bottles. And now you see this picture with the same table and the same wine bottles. I think those photos are taken just below the grand terrace. You see that place on this picture. A lot of people are confused about these pictures. They think it's taken at Berghof, but it's not. This is at the hotel. Same with the Berghof. A lot of people mixed the Berghof with the Eagle's Nest. Even American soldiers that have been to the Berghof do that. Well, it's easy to make mistakes, but it's also important to make it right, to make the facts right. Another German general that would be living in the hotel, but as a prisoner, was the General Feldmarschall Albert Kesselring. And you see him here at the Berghof with General Keitel, Jodl, Hitler and Mussolini. He was one of the most important generals of World War II. And here at the hotel he would be negotiating with the Americans about the capitulation of the German troops. And here he sits in the crystal room. The Americans gave Kesselring and his staff a very comfortable stay at the hotel. As a prisoner at the hotel, Kesselring was quite free to move around, also outside the hotel. And a lot of people did not like that very much, that the Americans gave him so much freedom to move around. And he would speak to journalists at the hotel as well. And here you see him together with General Maxwell Taylor. And here they are at the terrace in front of people taking photos. And to the left you see Brigadier General Gerald J. Higgins. Kesselring would be prosecuted in Nuremberg. And here you see him together with other top-ranked Nazi criminals. He was one of the lucky ones. He was not executed like so many of the others in this picture. And this Mercedes you see here once served high Nazi officials before it was confiscated and transformed into an American government vehicle. And this is Paula Hitler, the sister of Adolf. In April of 1945, her brother sent 2 SS men to bring her from a place in Austria to Berchtesgaden. And they took her to the hotel where she stayed for a while. But then the manager, Färber, made her move to the Eckhardhütte. There's more information about Paula in the video I made about Dietrich Eckart, Adolf's most important mentor. In July that year, she would be interviewed by the Americans. And I think this photo of her was taken then. And when the US forces took over the hotel, they would build a swimming pool.
This time, Excellency, I take only your money. Next time... Adios.
And here is Tyrone Power and Linda Christian in 1949. They married in Rome, Italy, and then spent part of their honeymoon at the Berchtesgadener Hof in Berchtesgaden.
Where Tyrone Power and Linda Christian are spending a quiet honeymoon following their spectacular wedding in Rome. On their way here, they had a car smash, but escaped without injury. Their only worry now being the autograph hunters who will follow them about.
Here is Romy Schneider, the German actress. Her mother was Magda Schneider, and her mother, Magda Schneider, was an actress also. And Magda Schneider, you can see here in the black hat, together with Hitler. And Romy as a little girl, together with Hitler. And Romy Schneider has now a museum at the Königssee. That is close to where she grew up. And here is the actors and performers Katharina Valente and Silvio Francesco, and they stayed at Berchtesgadener Hof during their touring. And here is Mammy Eisenhower, the wife of General Eisenhower. She would stay there too. And also Charles Lindbergh would stay there, the famous transatlantic pilot that had a bad legacy when he supported Nazi Germany, together with Henry Ford. Here you see a picture of them in 1942. And here is the US ambassador of Germany, Dowling. And lots of US generals would stay there too. And also families to soldiers that were stationed in Berchtesgaden during the years after the war. When a lot of them revisited Berchtesgaden in later years, they would stay there too. Well, that was the story of this hotel. The Berchtesgadener Hof would be abandoned for some years. And in 2006, it would be demolished. And then the Haus der Berge was built. Thanks for watching and liking my videos. If you would support me and my channel, I have created a GoFundMe page as a patron alternative. And I put that link together with my videos. I need to try and finance the cost of making these videos. So if you would support me, you will be mentioned in all my videos in the future. And in this video, I'm very happy to mention JR. He is the first one to give me support on my GoFundMe page. Thanks, JR. You really made my day.